say, God bless our troops, God bless America, and gentlemen, start your engine!
After some technical issues here today with the iRacing service, we have officially got it underway. Chase race number 1 for the QSR Simulations Xfinity Series. Welcome in, everybody. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, and a little bit of an issue here tonight with updating the service and having some problems. The service did not want to open up for me. I had to completely shut down the PC and start it over again. But here we are live with Daniel Molnex leading this race. We are only 8 laps into the 28-lap race. And of course, we talked about the playoffs, or the chase, rather, for the reset in the points. So we'll bring that up onto your screen right quick and talk a little bit about that. Jared Ziegler is going to be the points leader coming into today, with Kevin West, Daniel Molnex, and Caleb Nelson making the top 4. Then it's tied there for Team Vspeed in the top 12, adding one more with Quentin Stewart. So we're going to have an official announcement on that, but there's your points up on the screen. Back to the action here on tonight's broadcast. 28 laps around this place, 50% fuel, 100% fuel all season long. They're going to change it up here today with 3 tire sets available. So based off of those statistics, these drivers will have to take a pit stop here today. Of course, I'm not joined by Jake Reeves here tonight. Of course, this week, a little bit chaotic for everybody, with the 4th of July being on Thursday. Happy 4th to everybody as well. Got a lot going on and a lot to unpack with Daniel Molnex, Jared Ziegler, Galen Wunsch, the top 3, as we put the ticker back up on the screen. Looking back deeper through the field, a couple of cars really close together. There's Quentin Stewart in 5th spot. Remember, the last time we were here, Quentin Stewart did really well. And I don't know what it is about Sonoma in my PC, but we have had 2 in a row now when it comes to racing in California, in wine country, that this broadcast is not started on time for whatever reason. Something mysterious going on here with QSR and the combination of Sonoma. And you can see the chase banners on all of these machines. Every driver with an orange splitter and spoiler will be in the top 13 here tonight. Car in front, Jesse Gordon gets loose into turn 11. Quentin Stewart almost able to pass on by there. You can see the 24 of Stewart on the prowl as we go up the hill into turns 2 and 3. 15 of Jesse Gordon has lost a ton of time to Galen Wunsch. And you want to talk about the 199 and what he did, especially at Richmond. That was in the Xfinity series. Able to snag a win. Looking really good here for a top 3 right now as they go lap number 10 around this place into turn 7. 15 all over the back bumper. So 50% fuel might have loosened these cars up just a little bit. Got a new name out here on the racetrack here tonight. I'm gonna take a swing at this and say it's Antonio Bianchi. That's what I'm gonna say. And Antonio into turn 11, currently running in the 7th spot right now. Started back in 10th. He's worked his way up 3 positions as they come across the line. For lap number 11. Molnick still your leader. And some things happen here. Mike Petrin and Trenton Wilkin are out of this race. We'll see if we can go back and find where Trenton Wilkin went off the racetrack. Quite a few things have happened here in this race, but let's take you back and find what happened to Mike Petrin. Had a problem here out of turn 6 rather, looped it around. Maybe had problems after the fact because he is officially out of, So he's officially out of this race. So issues arise there with the number 60. Quite a few different drivers that have had problems here, but Austin Dowdy, 9 laps down right now, currently on pit road with heavy front end damage. Let's see if we can go back and find what happened to him. And same corner, out of turn 6, face plants into the wall. Decides to take it on a toe here. And so those are the things that we had to unpack during this start to this race. And we got a few cars down pit road right now. There's Kevin West. He's in his stall. Marshall Newton in the 76 also hit pit road. This is right about the halfway point. This would put us right about halfway. There's Morgan Cook in the 9th position. He is about 1.5 seconds from CJ Gates in the number 10. New paint scheme on the number 10 here tonight, as he really cuts the S's through there. He might get a slowdown penalty for that. The Gates trying to work his way through this field. He is 4 seconds back from Antonio Bianchi and Caleb Nelson, who are pretty close. Here comes Caleb Nelson down pit road, actually, with Quentin Stewart, Galen Wunsch. Pretty much the entire top 5 coming into pit road here. So down and away, Galen Wunsch on the side-by-side with the 07, and they're going to race out of pit road. Almost some contact there. 24 just behind him of Quentin Stewart. Fuel only stop. Actually, a problem there in the box, I think, for Quentin Stewart. He only topped off with fuel for a brief second of 0.07. So I don't know if that's going to be enough to get him to the end of this race. Ethan Wisnowski having some issues here tonight. Back a lap down, 17th position for the number 5, and he's going to come back down pit road. Doesn't look like he was very happy there before the camera shut off. But the racing here inside, just inside the top 10 from 7th back to 9th. A lot going on here. Morgan Cook is going to get a lap lead. He is 11.8 seconds ahead of Daniel Molnix, and he continues to stay out on the racetrack. 14 laps on the stint here for the Vspeed 51. Daniel Molnix chasing him down, though. Last time by, Morgan Cook with a minute 20. Minute 18 for Molnix. Looking for a solid finish from the 51, but he will stay out one lap to officially get that lap lead. Molnix has the 57 of Ziegler, who won here the last time we were here. Actually, I think it was Caleb Nelson. Might have been one of those debut races for Caleb Nelson. I'll have to go back in the archives, but it was between the 07 and the 57. I want to say it was the 07 of Caleb Nelson that got that victory. Granted, it was another chaotic time here on Vspeed where we had some technical issues. Molnix must have put some time in here this week, as he is racing for the net lead this time by. And he has shaved off almost 5 full seconds in just a couple laps on Morgan Cook, who is just now coming down pit road. There goes Molnix to take the lead back over. Ziegler just behind. The close battles going on from 5th position. Inland Wunsch, Jesse Gordon, Kevin West with Antonio Biaggi. On board with the 17. So rounding out your top 10 here with CJ Gates and Marshall Newton. Morgan Cook on the prowl after getting those 4 fresh tires. Some drivers elected to come down, but Quentin Stewart did not take tires. According to my telemetry, he was on a fuel-only stop. Ronnie Joyner is back in the 13th position, racing with Brent Allen. To come by for lap 18. Just behind the 00 is Dakota Floyd in the 19. Dakota Floyd making his debut here for the QSR Simulations Xfinity Series. Plenty of racing left to be done as we come by for lap 18. Here comes Molnix through the S's. Pulling away from Jared Ziegler. McMurtry out of the way there through the S's. Gonna let the 2-car by. And McMurtry a little off the pace here as he goes one lap down in the 15th position. So the closest battle on the racetrack right now is between Marshall Newton and Morgan Cook as they go through turn 7 into the S's. Looking off the back end of the 76. Morgan Cook on the prowl as they go into turn 10 and turns 11. Look to the inside here through the hairpin. Morgan Cook overtakes. Back into the top 10 for the 51. The other close battle that we can talk about here, Brent Allen and Dakota Floyd back and forth, and Ronnie Joyner also in this hunt as the 13 dives to the inside a little bit, trying to take a peek at this 12th position. CJ Gates is 4.5 seconds ahead of Morgan Cook right now. Currently running with, I believe that's the 83 of Joseph Terciano, who lets him by. Last time by, Gates ran a 1:20.947. Cars behind him about a second slower. Kevin West goes by, or actually gets passed by the 17. And Caleb Nelson into 5th spot, working his way back towards Galen Wunsch slowly here. So quick on board here with Quentin Stewart, the only driver cam that we have left here tonight. Again, would like to apologize for not getting the start of this race and talking about Sonoma Raceway. The technical issues here on Vspeed are far and few between, but they seem to only happen here at Sonoma. Wow, really hugging those tire bundles as he goes through the hairpin. Molnix has pulled out to about 3 seconds as we come up for less than 10 to go. We're going to get the 8 to go signal next time by. Jared Ziegler and Jesse Gordon are slowly working back towards Molnix. Last time by, a little bit faster. Right on board with the 15 as we go through the S's. But with a solid 6.5 seconds to catch up to Jared Ziegler. And a mistake must have been made here by the 15, the front end completely missing off this machine. Oh, this is the 83 of Terciano. What? Well, my bias might come out here a little bit. Let's watch that in full HD here. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. An entire season. Anyway, moving on from that. Daniel Molnick's still your leader. 4 seconds ahead now. He is slowly pulling away from Jared Ziegler, Jesse Gordon. Motoloot 57. Working his way progressively towards a lap car, I believe. No, that is actually the number 2 of Molnick's that came through that corner. 4.4 seconds, so now the lead's starting to get shaved away a little bit here. Molnick's maybe overdriving it just slightly, as we'll come by for 6 laps to go. Dakota Floyd in his debut race, currently in the 12th position, working towards Ronnie Joyner. He is 1.7 seconds back from this position for 11th. And this field very spread out. We have a solid 47 seconds to Marshall Newton. And that's just in the span of 23 laps that Molnick has been able to maintain this lead as he stretches it back towards the 5-second mark, actually takes it over that by a long shot. Ziegler maybe made a mistake there out of the exit of turn 7, and he'll pull away from Jesse Gordon. So this field very much spread out as we come up on the last 5 laps of the race out of turn 11. For Daniel Molnick. He had the top 4 in the chase. Got to pick a racetrack here this week. But it wasn't Sonoma that he picked. I want to venture to say that Jared Ziegler or Caleb Nelson decided on this racetrack. Quentin Stewart on the back bumper for the 5th position here. Oh, contact there through turn 6. They're going to be side by side going into turn 7. Going to hold it on the inside. More contact again through the S's. Oh, and he's sideways. Quentin Stewart got contact from Caleb Nelson. Let's go back on the replay and take a look at that. Well, I don't know if there's any hard feelings there, but I guarantee Quentin Stewart's not going to give him as much room as he did there the next time around, as he slowly chases back towards him. And he'll let him go. Caleb Nelson very courteous there. Quentin Stewart gets by. So we still have 16 cars out on this racetrack. Morgan Cook, Joseph Terciano, Ethan Wisnowski, Mike Peter, and Trenton Wilkin, and Austin Dowdy done for the day. Derek McMurtry, the last car on the racetrack. And the last car on the lead lap is your 10th place driver, Marshall Newton. It was 49, almost 50 seconds back here as we get set to conclude this race. 4 laps to go, about to be 3 to go. And Ronnie Joyner very loose there off the exit. Just behind Daniel Molnex, your leader, as we approach the finish of this race. Ziegler and Gordon are running about the same times. Gordon has actually shaved down a little bit of that deficit for the top 3. And then Galen Wunsch, who was running in the top 3 for a lot of this race, currently in the 4th position. Quentin Stewart, last time by, he's a little bit faster than the top 2. Daniel Molnex actually a 123 to Quentin Stewart's 121. But I think they're going to run out of time here. Closest battle on the racetrack is Ronnie Joyner with Dakota Floyd as they go into turn 11. Molnex coming across for 2 laps to go. Has plenty of seconds behind him. Over 6 seconds now. Recovered from the last time around with a slight little mistake and put him in a situation that he lost a little bit of time. But easy to do here. You have over 12 opportunities to make that mistake. But with a lead like this, it's hard to give it up. And he will come through the S's with Jared Ziegler, Jesse Gordon in the top 3. Ziegler working the 19. That's a lap down car of Dakota Floyd. This will get right up on the bumper here. Trying to move him out of the way, out of turn 11. And there he goes across the start-finish line, side by side. You see the white flag up in the air. Daniel Molnex, one more time around here at Sonoma. K1 Speed with the orange banner. Bring the points back up on your screen here. How awesome would it be for Daniel Monex to get the win? Ziegler not going to lose too much here today, but Monex, dominant performance. He's led the vast majority of laps in this race. He will come through the S's one last time. And put it all together for chase race number 1 in the Xfinity Series. Daniel Monex is going to be your winner here today from Sonoma Raceway. We're going to call it here with 8.5 seconds across the line and a little drift out of turn 12. There he is in the number 2, victorious in the track that he didn't even pick this week. Still plenty of cars to come across the line side by side there. Quentin Stewart on the outside of the 13. He'll get a top 5 here today. Galen Wunsch finishes 4th. Jesse Gordon, Jared Ziegler, the top 3. Back here with Kevin West going across the line. CJ Gates just behind him. Marshall Newton still through the S's as we come up on the finish of this race. 16 cars rather. Officially, Derek McMurtry actually on the end of this, so it will be 14 cars coming across for the finish of this race. But we started out with 20 here today. And that will do it as Monex comes back around to burn it down. Post-race spin interviews with your top 3. You're watching the QSR Simulations Chase for the Cup, the Xfinity Series, race number 1. Daniel Monex, your winner this week. We're going to take a quick commercial break while we round up your top 3. We'll be back here on Vspeed right after this.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back here live from Sonoma Raceway. QSR Simulations and their Xfinity series has concluded. 28 laps here today from the Sonoma Raceway, and final results up on your screen. 0 cautions, of course, caution free. No full course cautions for 2 lead changes. Daniel Molnex, who started on the pole, is victorious here today, with Jared Ziegler and Jesse Gordon with that top 3. Galen Wunsch is going to finish in the 4th position with Quentin Stewart for a top 5 here today. Caleb Nelson, 6th spot with Antonio Bianchi in 7th. Kevin West will bring it home in the top 10 with an 8th place spot. CJ Gates in 9th, and Marshall Newton will round out your top 10. 11th spot goes to Dakota Floyd with Ronnie Joyner in 12th. Britt Allen 13th here today. 14th, Derek McMurtry. And then these cars out of the race, finishing behind the wall. Morgan Cook will finish 15th for Team Vspeed. Joseph Terciano involved in that accident coming out of turn number 9. They will be both on the outside looking in. Ethan Wisnowski, 17th position. Mike Petrin and 18th. Trenton Wilkin, early exit today, 25 laps down. And 19th, Austin Dowdy, 20th. And Steve Mago will finish in 21st. 28 laps, well, we had today, down. So that does it there for our final results. Let's see if we can find some of this top 3. We only have one of those drivers. It's our winner here in Victory Lane. So we'll bring him up right quick. It's Daniel Molnex in the number 2, who just dominated this performance. And I'm going to be honest, I know you didn't pick this track this week, Daniel, but yeah, that might be kind of the reason why we're having such a late interview, because Jared Ziegler maybe left dumbfounded after this one.
Maybe. I mean, I put in, God, I don't know how many hours of practice here, man. Ever since we switched over to the, realistic weather, I mean, the track temps have been going up, and, a lot of that goes into tire management and stuff. And I'm not too bad at that. So, but yeah, I just put in, God, probably 10 hours at least.
That's all.
What do you mean that's all? That was enough. Yeah.
No, Daniel, I'm just I'm being me at this point. We've had so many problems to start this race. Technical issue with iRacing and trying to get things sorted, and then well, I'm kind of in a weird motion right now with my bias to after what I saw, but you dominated this race. The 2 car was what, 8 seconds ahead of the 57. We didn't really have a chance to see that the last time we were at Sonoma. You put the time in. What do you have to say? I mean, you're coming into Chase Race 1 and you're on top.
I mean, it's a good time of year to be running good. You can run consistent week in, week out, but eventually you're gonna have to kind of step it up a little bit more and put some wins on the board.
I agree. And Good for you. You weren't off today. I was off today. You were on point every second of the race. Is there anybody you want to shout out here before we let you go into next week?
Vspeed, put on a good broadcast, week in, week out. QSR, that this Xfinity side has been, first season, but it's been a lot of fun. These cars are, I would say, one of the hardest ones to drive on the service. You have to be very disciplined with them. And shout out to all the guys at Venom Motorsports. We put the time in, and you know, we all push each other to be good and show up with speed everywhere we go, and majority of the time that pays off.
Well, I hope you can forgive me. I was being very sarcastic with the 10 hours, but the time was well spent, Daniel, and appreciate you coming up here in the broadcast booth with me. I think you might be the only interview. I think everybody else was just like, you know what? We didn't perform the way we wanted to this week, so we don't have much to say. Congratulations on the victory.
Thank you, guys.
Daniel Molnick's your winner this week from Sonoma Raceway and Chase Race number 1. As we get set for the next few races, I just want to say that with the top four picking these tracks this week, we got to announce that it will be 4 races. And I had that list here just before. We had the announcement here for the top 4, and I know that Old Atlanta is in there. I know that Kansas is in there, but I'm trying to remember the other racetrack besides Sonoma that we had here on the schedule. And so I will officially get that for you. There we go. It is going to be, well, it seems to be lost. It's going to be Las Vegas. So we're going to have 3.5 mile racetracks here from QSR Simulations. But I think we're setting up here for a pretty good points battle before it's all said and done. Of course, those points have tightened up with the reset. But after tonight, the number 2 coming out victorious, he'll put it on top with Ziegler, Gordon, and Wunsch. Wunsch just outside there of the top 3 after today, and then Quentin Stewart with a top 5. But it was a good race. I hope you guys enjoyed it here tonight here on Vspeed. If you guys did enjoy the broadcast, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I know we had some technical issues here today, a little bit off our game, but it is 2 days before a holiday and things going on with families, and it's kind of a weird time to be alive as of late. But we will put it to you next week at Old Atlanta. Hope you guys can join us at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. But for everybody at Vspeed, Anna Baker in the background doing what he does, Quentin Stewart for the QSR Xfinity Series, Morgan Cook, Logan Threlkeld, Eddie Smith, and Christian Hill, our other producers. This is Bradley Cooper telling you to have a great rest of your week. Happy 4th. We'll see you tomorrow night for Racing Revolution Cup Series.